I create a project. Good. Next, sample detailed razor view example. Right? Click on this. Go to E drive under Narendra, not Narendra, DIT, .Net 4. Next. And then I create. Cool. Project is created. Now, first step, what you need to do? Tell me. In the solution, what you need to do? First, you need to go to program.cs file. There you need to add your builder as a service. Builder dot services dot add controller with the views. This is your first step. Now the second step is I'm removing delete. Here you have to say app dot use static files. You know what is the purpose of static files? We already discussed. App dot use routing. You know what is routing? App dot map controllers. I did my builder method. Now I am building the project. Build succeeded. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to Solution Explorer, right click. First I'll create a static folder. I am going for Nugget Package Manager. Just I don't want this. Go to Solution Explorer, right click. Add folder, say www root. When you change www root, it will be in a, all your static files will be available here. So you no need to worry on the static files. Right? Now, try to create a folder name controllers. Controllers. Right? In this controller, I'm trying to create a employee controller. I'm trying to create a what controller I'm going to create? Tell me. Speak.
Home control.
Everybody has to speak. I'm going to hold the employee controller, which is returning a view. To get this view, what you need to do? Typically, you need to create a folder called add new folder. I'm adding one more new folder called views, under which I'm creating a add another folder saying that employee, under which I'm going to create a one more view razor empty. You have to select empty razor view. I will tell you remaining things later point of time. Don't worry about it. In the razor empty view, click on add, say index.html, which is already selected. You see, index.html is selected. Click add. Now you got the razor view. Now I am removing this razor view. How to build the HTML content in this? What tag you need to use? You need to use a tag called HTML, under which you will have a head tag, under which you will have a title tag. Simply say employee details. This is the view. And you need to have one more called as meta char set equal to UTF. This is the best practice when you have to do, because anything you send as a response with the help of UTF-8. So that's why I'm using meta char set equal to UTF, under which I'm going to have a body. Here I'm going to say H1 employee details. Right? Now I done the HTML view. I have a controller. I have a program. See, this view directly associated with this action. This view directly associated with this action. Make sure, see, whenever you create a controller class, the associated folder should be available in the view folder. And that you can have each and every action method contain a separate CS HTML file. In the class contain one method means you will have the same name. Method name will be your view name. That is the best practice. If you create a ASP.NET Core own template, it automatically created. But if you want to build on your own, you can build in this way. Now go back, say IAS Express, run it. And today is the last one I'm going to create from the scratch. From tomorrow onwards, I'm not going to create a scratch. Okay. Oh my God. I made a mistake. What mistake I made? I created this project with a secure connection. I can delete this. Exit. Create a one more Visual Studio code. Go to File, Project, Sample, Razor, View, Explanation. Go here. Go to E drive, Narendra, VAT, .NET 2, Core, select, next, uncheck the configure HTML. This also because of this, it got secured. Now I'm not working as an HTTPS. HTTPS will do it in next to next week. So that how to configure your security in the application. I'm not worried about right now on security. Okay. I'm just trying to understand without security. So that's why I never done that. Now go back. First you create a folder. www root. And then right click, add new folder, controllers. And then you can add a controller. You can create a class also. See, there are two ways you can create controller. One, the way you know this one. The other way is you have to create a controller using class. So right now I'm using the template. MVC controller, empty template. Here I'm going to say employee. See, I got the employee controller class, which has been automatically inherited by your controller base class. You know what is base class, you know what is inheritance and everything, right? Which we already discussed. See, controller is an abstract class, which you cannot implement. You can only derive. All the methods which are available in the controller class will be available here. Right click, outline, collapse definition. You see, these many methods are there. Virtual methods. You can inherit at any point of time. So this class will have an override method called iAction. I got my point. Now you see here, iAction result in the class. Not found. Okay, leave it. Now, I want to build a view. How to build a view? Right click, add, folder, views. The naming convention is more important. You have to make it as views. Views, you see, the name which I given is ww root. The name which I given is controllers folder, not controller. Controller is a class, so you cannot use controller. Okay, similar way, view is a class or object. So you have to use views. And then right click, add, folder, and you have to say the controller name. What is your controller name here? Speak out, please. What is your controller name?
Employee.
Employee. See, employee controller, but it will take only the employee. Okay, so you have to make sure you have to give employee. And then right click, add, view, add. You see, there is an index.html is automatically created. So try to use that index. What will happen? What will happen? This view index method will associated with this index.cshtml. Okay. Now I am removing every content. Simply I'm using HTML, head tag, title tag, employee details. All right. I create a employee detail. Here I'm going to use a body tag. In the body tag, I'm going to use H1 employee details. Right? I done that. Now save everything. Put a breakpoint here. Try to run. Something is missing. What is that? In the controller class, I missed something. What is that, Chaitanya? Preeti? Guys, unmute and talk. Something is missing in the controller class. What is that? Let me run. It will not work. It will not work. I'll tell you. 100% it will not work. Hello world. Only the logic which we built in the program.cs file, this hello world will get executed.
Need
But
to
here,
create the ad services, no, sir?
so you need to import the services in builder method. What do you need to do? Builder
Dot ad services.
dot services dot add controller with the views. Okay, because any controller associated with the view, we have to use as a service. Here I have an employee controller which has been added as a service here. When you use this method, it will detect all the controllers which are associated with views. Now come back here, app dot use static files. Say I'm not using the static file right now. For a different purpose, I will tell you. Now I'm going to use app dot use routing. I'm going to use app dot use routing, app dot map controllers. Map controllers. What is the purpose of app routing? Whenever you make a request, first it will hit the routing. That routing will decide that which controller need to be mapped. We already discussed all these things. If you don't know, go back to refer the older sessions. Okay. Now here, you need to define an attribute. If you are not defined the attribute, what will happen? Again, it will not detect it. It doesn't know which route it has to take. See, no page was found on the web address. How to fix that web address page? Use route as an attribute. This is an attribute. You say slash. Okay. When you make the slash, automatically when you give a URL of localhost, this index method will get detected. You see. Today the session will go long, minimum 11. Just listen. You see, it got detected, it got the employee detail, it got the employee. Now, sir, go back to index.cshtml. I don't want to hard code this value. I need to get this value in a dynamic way. So what do you need to do?
New title.
You have to use at curly braces. Here you have to declare a variable. C# code I am writing.
అందుకనే రాలేదక్క.
Title value equal to.
కుదరదు, నేను కొంచెం క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను.
Chaitanya, please unmute.
Cut this, paste here, and then use title value. Now what happened? This value will change dynamically at any point of time. This value comes from this particular string variable. That is the idea behind it. Now here, I'm going to use the same title attribute in this. Right? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Riddhi? Now, if you run, see, I had C#, I had HTML, but when you render the page, you will get only HTML. You see. I'm removing this breakpoint. Every time it is running. Run. Now go back. You got the render. Now right click, inspect element, go to network, refresh. You see, I got a localhost document. Click on the document. Go to response. You got only HTML. Any other thing you got as a response? The code which you written in C# is coming here. Coming or not? Hello?
It's coming, sir.
Where it is coming? No C# code is available in the render. It automatically inbuilt. It will, the image will, the code which will run both in the HTML, you have C# code, you have HTML code. But the C# code will give you the business logic, and that business logic will not expose outside. That is the idea behind of Razor View engine. Now you all understand what is Razor View engine? Now, sir, I want to create a table. I want to create a table. Right? Here I'm going to use tr, under which I will have a td tag, where I'm going to say employee name. Okay, like that, I'm going to have a one more saying that date of birth. I'm going to have a date of birth. These two data I need to get from dynamically. So what I'm going to do, I'm creating a model. I'm creating a folder called models. Go add, create a folder, models. In this model, I'm going to create a class which has properties. What is your class name? Employee model class. Always a best practice, use model in each every data entity. Here, you have to say public string, always a nullable employee name get set, public date time, date of birth get set. Now build the project. Now this employee model got data. Sir, I want to fill the data in the index.html. So what I can do here, I can simply say employee model. When I use that, equal to new of, it will not work. Why it will not work? Why it is not working? Because you need to include this namespace in the razor view engine. Go back here, you have to say at using the statement. Now you see you got the employee model. Here you have to finish the text. Here employee name equal to Narendra Babu, comma, date of birth equal to 04, always month and format 04 1983. It is having an issue. Why? Because it is not converted into date time. Simply use convert convert to dot to date time. Now I got the employee name, date of birth. Now I want to fill the same object model here. How to do that? Already I created an instance. I'm going to use at employee model dot employee name. The attribute is coming. Similar way, you are going to use date of birth here. How are you going to use the date of birth? Date of birth dot to short date string. I'll tell you why I'm using a to start. If I'm not using this date of birth will give both date as well as the time. I don't want date and time. I want only the date. So that's why I'm converting using to short date string. Now run the express. You will get the date of birth of employee name and employee ID. You got the data? Pranit, Priti, Chaitanya,
Yes, sir.
Nitin.
Yes, sir.
Where this data coming from?
Model.
Where this data coming from?
Model. No?
In the model view.
Model, we will be having the name, employee name and the date of birth. We would be fetching the data.
Correct. Sir, in the same model, I don't want to get the title value that I will teach you later point of time. Now the point here is, I want to create an age dynamically. When I receive a date of birth, I need to get the age for that. So how to write that age? Now, copy this, paste here, I create a one more row saying that age. There, I need to write a business logic. Instead of date of birth, I'm going to write a business logic in Razor. So how to write a business logic in Razor? This is how you have to do. Here, you have to say double, not double. First, what you need to do? Your current date minus date of birth. What is your current date? Date time. Date time. Date time. Dot now. Minus employee model dot date of birth. You got the value. Dot total days. This will return you, total days will return you number of days on that particular span. Okay, double age days. I'm using a variable double age days. For a better understanding, I'm doing like this. Okay. Now you have to close the comment. Home. Here, you have to say better to have the TD here. Here you have to say at age days variable. Whenever you pass the date, it automatically gets the age days. Now you see, when I run the Express, you got the days. I've been in this world for more than 15,000 days. Okay. Now I want to convert this days into year. Simply I go /365. Now express so total 41.3 days. 41.3 days. Now what you need to do, you have to make math is a function round. I'm rounding off with the numbers, digits. So simply I'm going to use like this. Now it will give me 41 or 42. I'm not sure. It should be 41. It taken as April 1st. Now you have to move and change into month should be second. Approximately it will give me 42. See, I got the value. Now, sir, this looks not good. I need to provide some CSS styles for this. So what I'm going to do, under header, I'm going to use an attribute style. First thing is, I'm going to surround both head and table in a div. For that, I'm going to use a div tag. Those who are not learned CSS, HTML, you can learn here also. No need to worry. Simply go like this. Right? Now you see the table under div, I have a h1 tag, I have a table tag. Now what I'm going to do, first I'll create a div. I'll say background color, say chocolate. Right? When I make chocolate, see, the entire detail was in chocolate color with the div and table. Now, sir, I'm going to give the color equal to white smoke. And I'm going to give width equal to 350 pixel. Save all. Now, hit the file. It will not work because it has to render from the content for the very first time. Whereas in HTML, it automatically gets it. But in the web server application, every time you have to stop and start. Now you see, you got the employee details. Everything you got. But why color was not applied on the table? Because table has internally a text. So now you make a border 10 pixel solid red color. Now you are making a border of the div. Now you got the border. Everybody say yes or no. You got the border.
Yes, sir.
You got the border of the div in red color. The text is in brown color. Now the point here is, I am seeing some padding is not missing in the div. No padding is available. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use padding 10 pixel here. Now run that. Now you see there is a gap. Earlier you don't have padding. Priti, Nitin, you see there is a space.
Sir.
Now come back. First I can make a table. For table, I'm going to fix the stuff. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to give border again for the table. 10 pixel solid. I can give something related to blue. Right. And then I can say width is 90%. 90%. And I can say align content. Align self center. Now I can give some background color of the table instead of chocolate. I can give some other color. What color we can give? Tell me some good color. Come on, guys. What color we can give? Can we give brown?
Brown, it would have been visible, sir.
I'm going to give saddle brown. And then the text color should be white. Right? Save. And in the body of the text, font family Vardhana. I'm going to give a family of font. Once you've done that, run the Express. You see there is a lot of change happened in the div. It looks good. It looks good or not? How was it?
Yes. Looking good.
Now, instead of 90, I can make this as 95. Done. Save all. So this is called applying CSS. Sir, I don't want to apply this CSS from here. I need to get the CSS from root folder. So what I will do, I'll create a add new item. You search for style sheets. You see there is a style sheet.css. Add the style sheet. Okay. Remove it. Go to program.cs index.cshtml. I will take all the style sheet from here. We remember, right? I take all the style sheet, cut, paste, save all, go back to CSHTML. I'm removing this. How to refer this style sheet? Simply go to Solution Explorer, drag and drop. This is how the style sheet will be get linked. Now run it, Express. It will not work. There is some reason. Tell me what is the reason. Which you learned static files, right? Root and static files, right? Tell me what is the reason. Chaitanya. It will not apply. Chaitanya, are you there? Chaitanya, unmute and talk. Hello. Chaitanya, are you there? Nathan, Pranit, Preeti. Anyone can tell me why the static root is not working? Because in the program.cs file, you never used static files. App.use static. You have to configure this. Then only this route folder will get directed, in which the style sheet will be get picked automatically. Now you see your CSS will be applied automatically. Do you remember? To configure static files, we have to go for www root. If at all you want to go for physical file path location, all we discussed, right? So now you see here, it got it or not? Preeti? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now, once I done this, sir, I got the age, and then I want to get the gender of the particular employee. I'll simply say, in the model, I'm going to create a one enum, which is a structure in type, public enum gender. Here I can give male, comma, female, comma, others. So I given an enum. This enum I'm going to use here, public gender, genders. Right? Now build the project. Go to your employee controller in the index.html. There you can say genders equal to gender dot. It's an enum, so you have to configure directly like this. Right? You got the enum. Sir, I want to say here, what is the name you have to give here? TD, gender status. So how to get the gender status here? TD, simply employee details model dot genders dot to string. I'm converting that enum as a string. Now, this is how you have to build the property. You see, I got a male. Gender is male or not? I got the gender is male. Now, sir, I want to build two more values in the same div. I want to build a two more value in the, like this div, I want to create 2 or 3 values. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use here H1 at title value. I remove here. Here I'm going to say the title value is list of employee details. I'm going to build a div in a different way, dynamically. How I'm going to build a div in a different way is here, I'm not going to use a single employee model. Instead, I'm going to use a n number of employee model. For example, list employee model employees equal to new of list of employee model. This is my first call. I'm creating list of employees. Once I created this employee model, I can simply use employees dot add method in which I'm going to add this. Okay. I'm removing. Like this, I'm going to add. What I'm saying, under the employees, new employee model, employee will come Narendrababu. And under which I'm going to create a one more. Here, I created Chaitanya. There I'm going to create a 1998, something like this. And here, I'm going to create a one more employee model. I'm saying I need a female attribute, right? So I'm going to use Preeti name. Here, I'm going to say Preeti. Here, I'm going to say 2002. Done. Sir, how many number of employees added in a single object? How many employees I added in this list? 3 employees. One employee is Narendra, other employee is Chaitanya, another employee is Preeti. Now, sir, I want to loop this div 3 times. For that, what I'm going to do here, at for each, okay, employee model, employee in employees. Employee model in employees. I'm taking the cut this entire div, paste here. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything. I'm looping everything in a single div. What happened? The list of employee will pass here, and here you have to say employee. Better, I can go and change employee model here so that it will be easy instead of writing every place. So I can give like this. I can go and change employee model. Now what happened? This employees containing list of 3 employees with the help of employee model. That's all. Now save this, run. You will get a 3 different divs dynamically. You got that? 3 divs you got dynamically.
Yes,
I
sir.
got Narendra, I got Chaitanya, I got Preeti. But sir, I want to display in this manner. So what I'm going to do, display inline content, right? Under the div, display inline block. Save this, and you have to say few margin. Margin is some 10 pixel. I'll say you why I'm putting a margin. Now save this, run. Now you see, how was it? Is it good or bad?
It's good, sir.
Preeti, Nitin,
Yeah, it's
say yes.
yeah, good, sir.
All these data are coming from model. So now I'm going to add 2 more values, both Nitin and, because I got only 3 values, right? I want to see the list of values in a different format. Now I'm going to add a 1 more employee. Here, Pranit, are you there? Here I'm going to say Nitin.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Nitin 1999. Okay. Here I'm going to say done. Save all, run. How was it?
Good, sir.
Good, sir.
So this is how we need to work. You need to build any kind of web application pages, right? Sir, I want to add an image. I want to add a images. How to do that? That we can discuss tomorrow. Today we are completing with this. Now I can add one more topic. In the same employee model, if I pass gender, if the gender is male, I can say valid employee. Don't make mistake, Kritik. Only female, I'm going to as invalid employee. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a statement called switch. Here, employee model dot genders. Employee model dot genders. Case, I'm saying male. It will not work. Why? Because you have to make it as dot string. Whatever the employee model you are getting, you have to make it a string. And then you should have a break statement. Take this DD, put here. You should have gender status saying that valid employee, something like this. Valid employee. Clear? Here you have to say in the TD, if the case is male, I'm going to say valid employee. Something like this, I'm going to create. Now, case female copy this value. Hey, Baba. To say here, invalid employee. Hello. 1 second. Hello. చెప్పండమ్మా 1 o'clock నేను పిలుస్తాను 1:32 నేను పిలుస్తాను క్లాస్లో. Right? Now, save the file, run. You see here, everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How dynamically we created. This is how you have to build the list of employees. See, in this program, I had understand for each which I'm getting a list of employees, how I'm going to create a div. That is one point. The second point, under the div, I have a table attribute. Right? Sir, you can have employee name with age here as a some value. How to do that? Simply do H2. What is your employee name here? Employee model dot employee name plus space employee model dot age will not come, so don't worry, leave it. I don't want this tr tag. It's not good, so I'm taking this away. Now you go and run this. How was it? Is it good or bad?
Good, sir.
And the text is not center aligned. Go to style sheet. In the div, simply say text align.
Enter.
Center. Now run this. Why da?
Where is his title name, sir? Is it in the div or somewhere else?
It is into the div. Okay. Div.h2.
H2, yeah.
You have to use div h2 text align center. My tag is div, under which I will have a h2 tag. Perfect. Perfect fit. Clear?
Yes, sir.
But again, table is also not central line. You simply use div table, say text align central line. Say I'm not using a bootstrap, I'm not using anything. Okay, I'm using simply a HTML CSS. How beautifully you can build your site with the dynamic data. I never used any static data. I used everything as a dynamic data. Perfect fit. Anybody have any questions so far?
No, sir.
Nitin, Kishore.
No, sir.
No.
So this is how you have to work. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I think this is not required. Text is not properly aligned. Let's remove this. This is the best option. Okay.
Okay.
Save this. Now, sir, this employee data, whatever the logic I build here, is not a right practice. It has to go into the controller. From the controller, how I am going to get this data, pass from controller to index, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. There you are going to learn a topic called view bag and view data. There is a concept called view bag and view data, and there is another concept called temp data. Okay, we'll discuss that logic by tomorrow. Once we discussed that, 90% of your razor is done. This is how you have to build the UI. You can write any logic within the code. See, yesterday we talked about how to apply a string in a single format. And yesterday we talked about employee model alone. Now today we are talking about list of employees. How for that, when you receive a list of employee, what is your for each loop? And then how we are going to use the table within that employee, where you are writing a logic of this. Sir, can I write a method in this employee? Yes, you can write. Simply you go here, you have to write a logic saying that double, okay, convert age. Here, in this method, you get the date time, say DOB. This is your method. Listen carefully, ma. This is your method. In this method, whatever the logic you written here, cut this, paste here, and say here, return age days. Local function convert age never used. Okay, here, instead of employed at DOB, simply say DOB. Now, this convert age, here you are going to use convert age method, which is expecting a date of birth. What is your date of birth? Employee model dot date of birth. And I'm removing this. Now you see, I got the data. I had written a function. This one, right click, go to definition, it is coming here as a method. You can write strings, you can write methods within the here, so that you can write a small functions without disturbing your HTML. You can call this method. Go to implementation, it will come here. Okay, now the same logic, run the express, it will work. Is there any change happened in your code? Chaitanya?
No, sir.
I'll put your breakpoint here. Now run the express. Every time you will get a date of birth. You see, I get a date of birth.
Yeah.
I got the date of birth 1983. Now, function F11, it got executed and it is given a date as 42. Refresh. Again, the second date of birth is coming, 98. Again, the third date of birth is coming, 2002. Again, a fourth date of birth is coming, 1999. Again, the fifth date of birth is coming, 2002. Page is rendered. I built a function.
Yes, sir.
Even you can write a function of switch. Sir, it is very hard to work on a switch. So what you can do? String. Okay. Valid employee. Here you have to pass gender, gender's enum, gender, saying that gender. Here you have to say case. Wait, switch. Switch gender dot to string simply put case male. There you can say a string valid employee equal to string dot empty. Now you say here return valid employee variable, and then you say valid employee variable equal to valid, which has been a V caps, valid employee, and say here break. Same way you go and copy. Paste. To say here FE. Here you have to say invalid. Now come back. I remove everything. I don't want to write that much of switch in my HTML because I want to see my HTML as a very neat code. What I will write here, TD, valid, ampersand, valid, employee, which is expecting employee model dot. What is the attribute? Genders. Now you see, put a breakpoint of here, run. What is my gender? Male. Female. Male. See, why Preeti is not coming?
Valid employee.
Not matched. See, these two are methods in the razor. These two are methods in the razor. Okay, only this one, this date of birth, I got it. Sir, this is how you have to build, sir, logic. And you can comment also. You can comment the code in such a way that simply say this function used to validate the employee status. And to comment that, you have to select like this and you say comment.
Control shift question mark.
This is how you have to comment. You can simply use comment so that everybody can understand what type of code you written here, where you are invoking this code. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And this function, you can say convert into age. This function convert into age. Now save all. This is how you have to write the big method of logic. This is one of the best examples which I ever produced. Anybody have any questions? In a single index, without having any logic here, I had binded my model within my index. I had taken that controller with the index and processed it. This is how the MVC will work. Tomorrow, my idea is I don't want to write this entire business logic here. Okay, I'm going to write this logic in here. How I'm going to render in the view.html. If I done that, 80% is over. Now, after that, you are going to create a database, get the value from the database. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Preeti,
sir.
Nitin, Chaitanya?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir,
we'll
I'm
do
good.
tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.